everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're here with me for the first time, my name is Melissa Reed and I'm a mixed media artist. So you see in front of me today that I have some watercolor paper taped off on a piece of gator board. I have probably about a roughly, I don't know, 5x7-ish opening there in the middle. I didn't measure for accuracy. And that's the exposed area that I'm going to be working on today. We're just going to do a little bit of mixed media on paper. And later in the video, I do have an announcement to make about the channel, which I'm sure you gathered from the title. But for right now, we're just going to get started working on this piece. So I am just using a variety of media here, some acrylic paint, acrylic ink, and some collage. And I'll have a complete list of everything that I used, all the products, in the description for you if anyone is interested. I believe there I've pulled out some Liquitex transparent raw sienna and some Rowney white. And what I'm going to do with those is mix like a brownish color. I went to the store the other day to look for some different inks, and particularly some type of cream color, either like a Titan Buff or unbleached titanium. And you know, I cannot find that in the acrylic ink. I even looked on Amazon and they just don't seem to exist, or at least that I have found them. So I will just be mixing my own. Now this is not going to be a cream color so much as a tan beige kind of color, but anyway, that's what I'm getting started with here. So I'm just putting a little bit of those on a piece of plastic that I use as like a palette, and I'm mixing that up with the back of a brush. And then I'm going to spray the surface with water and just lay some of that ink down and move it around. One thing I love about the acrylic ink is how it reacts with the water and just starts to move and bloom when it hits the surface of the water like that. I just think it's really cool. I have no plan for this as usual, so I'm actually just going to work a little bit as I talk to you about a couple of things. So as most of you know, if you've watched any of my other videos, I put out a new video every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, but I'm going to be adding to that. The Friday morning video is still going to be coming out, but I'm going to be starting a new series called Sunday Morning Inklings, and these are just going to be videos that are not exactly like the other ones that I'm doing. They're going to be works in a watercolor sketchbook that are just quick little studies using mostly ink, although not exclusively so. It was just more for the sake of the name. And they're just going to be quick little studies. Sometimes I'm not even going to talk about what I'm doing at all, and it'll just kind of be you can watch while we chat about whatever. But I did want to make everyone aware that that's going to be happening starting this coming Sunday, and I just had to go look up the date. That is Sunday, July 19th, and I'm going to also have that one come out at 10 a.m. at least to start. We'll see how that goes for everyone, but I just wanted to make that little announcement. And of course, my regular tutorials will still be coming out every Friday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and that will be Eastern Time on Sundays as well for you. So I added some Payne's Gray, that's the Rowney Payne's Gray acrylic ink to the surface there while that was still wet, and I dragged a skewer through it to create some line work and some movement. And now I'm dripping some Liquitex Prussian blue on the surface just to introduce another color. I did go ahead and dry sopped up some of the excess water because once I got the movement that I wanted from it, I wanted to be able to continue a little quicker, so that's why I did that. And I did hit this with my handmade stencil there just a little bit. Some of it ran a bit, but you can see the pattern up at the top. I will try to remember to include a video on how I make those on my end screen for you if you're interested. That one is actually just made out of drawing paper, so if you're interested in the procedure on that one, I will put that up there for you. If you are enjoying these videos, it would help me out so much if you could just give me a thumbs up and hype this out to push it to other people. The YouTube algorithm has been algorithming lately, so it's not really pushing them. It's so crazy because the video I did 2 weeks ago has nearly 5,000 views on it, and like last week's has 600 and some, and it just doesn't make any sense. It's the same topic. I mean, it's basically the same titles on the videos too, so I don't know. But yeah, if you could just help me out, it would be really awesome, because the more people that see it, the more it, you know, gives me exposure, which supports my channel, and then the more I can make for you all to see. So I pulled out some, I think that is light rose acrylic paint there. I'll have to look that up to be 100% certain. And I covered up some of what I already had going down there. Now, I didn't let that dry. Everything was still damp because I did, you know, touch it with a paper towel just to take the excess off. So some of the colors blended a bit, which I liked. And I had a little bit of that like coffee color paint ink left over on the plastic, so I decided to do some little swirls, and then I went in directly with the acrylic ink and added some of that to the surface as well. Basically, that just used up that ink that I mixed because, you know, why waste it? I could do something with it. Usually when I have paint or ink left over that I haven't used, what I will do is just take a brayer and roll it onto some tissue paper to create some transparent color blocks, and I will actually be using one of those in this piece, and I'll show you in a moment. But for now, I got that text stamp out and some Payne's Gray, and that is Winsor & Newton Payne's Gray acrylic paint. And I'm just rolling that onto the stencil and then pressing it down in a few places, and that's just some text to create something that's going to catch the eye a little bit and also bring in some darker areas to those vast, like tonally bland areas. Now at this point, I did let that dry and I removed all of the tape, and you can see what we've got there. And I'm going in with a pencil I just found when I was cleaning out my basement that I have no recollection of buying, but it is an 8B. So very soft leaded pencil, and I'm just making some marks in a few of the areas, which again is just going to lead the eye a bit. And I have one of those sheets that I was talking about, which is a roll-off sheet of color fields, and I decided that I wanted to add some of that as well. I think that was golden high flow alizarin crimson that was used to make that sheet, if I recall. But I'm just tearing off chunks of it, and you'll see me here kind of just auditioning areas. Now this is going to go much more transparent once I put the matte medium down, which I'm going to use as my adhesive. So you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like, but watch here when I put that medium on it. It's going to basically just kind of melt into the background, and it will almost look like that red was applied, the red paint was applied directly to this paper and wasn't collaged on at all. That's why I really like to use tissue paper for my collage papers, because it can change an entire area without losing the integrity of the design or whatever you have going on underneath it. And I know I say that in a lot of my videos, but it's true, and I will always use the collage papers for that reason. This piece, I wanted to use it whole so badly, but it just ultimately ended up feeling like a little bit too much, so I did tear it down just a little bit, and you will notice, like I did with that other red piece, I am intentionally letting these collage papers go over the edge because while there is absolutely nothing wrong with having just a rectangular block where the design is encased, I decided to make it a little more interesting and let that go out beyond those rectangular walls and create more movement and more interest that way. Now you're going to be able to see, like I said, what's underneath there, but because the red is on top of it, it's also going to change the color of what's underneath it a bit, which is another interesting thing that the tissue paper will do. And once I'm happy with it, I'm going to add some more of my matte medium. And you'll see when I go to glue this one down, it's tissue paper, so it is fairly fragile. This is not wet strength, this is just regular. And I do end up tearing a hole in it, but, and as happens a lot of the time when I do that, I liked the way the hole fell, and so I ended up pushing it a little bit further and using it as a design element. That's gonna happen right there. So I saw it and I was like, ooh, I kind of like that little peekaboo hole that it created, and it very conveniently formed right over top of that dark spot of the Payne's gray underneath. So I thought, you know, I'm gonna just go ahead and use my brush bristles to like create almost like an edge. And yes, there is going to be a raise in the paper where it bunches up there, but that's okay. I like that. I mean, I use both visual and literal texture in my pieces all the time, so could I have gone in and tried to trim that off? I could, but I'm not going to because I like the way that actually looks. So I decided to add another intentional hole in that piece that I just added on there because that will go along with the unintentional hole that I formed in the piece below. And you can see that everything's kind of starting to come together here a little bit. So you might remember I added a few drops of Prussian blue right in the bottom center there, and I decided I wanted to add some more because right now that was the only Prussian blue in the whole piece, and I just felt it would be more harmonious if there were a few more areas of it. So what I ended up doing was getting a pen and nib, and I'm just going in and creating just some little areas of it. It's not going to be super overt, and I did actually end up using it to outline part of the rectangle as well. Incidentally, you saw me tap the pen on a little tissue paper there just to like clear the tip and make sure it was flowing. If you would try to write with acrylic ink directly onto plain tissue paper, it's going to bleed out. The reason why it doesn't do that on the papers that I have already collaged on there is because of the acrylic media that I used as the adhesive. So once that acrylic base is down there, it's going to work like as a primer would on a canvas, like gesso or something like that, and it's going to not allow that ink to bleed out. Just going to put a few finishing touches here, and then at the end I'll bring it in so you can see what it looked like when it's all finished. But I'm really excited about getting this new series started. I think it'll be interesting, I hope, for you all to watch. It'll be good for me too because I never keep a sketchbook, I never keep an art journal, and I went and bought one specifically for this purpose to force myself to do it. And I think it'll be good to have like that extra stress-free practice. Is everything going to end up being a beautiful finished piece? Probably not, but you learn something every time you do anything in art, so it's good to just keep practicing in that way. Okay, that I pulled out there is a handmade stencil that I have had for several years. And I'm just going in with some titanium white on a little sponge brush and just adding that in. It was fine the way it was, but again, like some of the larger areas were all too similar in tone. So this is just going to break those areas up a little bit visually and make everything feel a little more interesting. But here is what we ended up with. I think it's pretty cool. It was fun to make. I have no real intentions with this. I'm not going to put it up for sale, although if you are interested in seeing any of my works that I've made on the channel that are for sale, please check out my Etsy shop. I will flash that on the screen here, but there's also going to be a link in the description. And yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out with me again today, and I look forward to seeing you on this Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time for my very first episode of Sunday Morning Inklings, and I will be back next Friday at 10 a.m. for another regular video. Thank you all so much.